It's another edition of Cajun Classic Cars TV. This time around, we've got a real great special for you. One of two museums in the town of Leesville, Louisiana. We'll tell you about this one. But first, our program is brought to you by Vicari Auction and Goodwood Hardware and Outdoors.
Your cars are the stars. Cajun Classic Cars TV.
We're in Leesville. It's the parish seat of Vernon Parish in Louisiana. The city is home to Fort Polk, formerly known as Fort Johnson, formerly known as Fort Polk, which is a U.S. Army installation. And we've made a stop to the Kane Motor Company historic building, home to one of the first Ford dealers in America. We're talking with John, a great person and the caretaker of the museum, who knows so much about the building and its history. We're talking with John at this museum. John, tell us, if this museum has an official name, what would it be called? I know it's a private museum, but what would it be called?
Kane Motor Company building.
Kane Motor Company building, and John, it has a unique history. You were telling me a lot of amazing stories. Give me a couple of the highlights about the Kane Motor Company building.
It started out as the Werner Ford building, assembled by Harvey Werner and Henry Ford, roughly around 1910 to 1912. The building was put together for holding and distribution for the assembly line project of Henry Ford. And then prior to the assembly line, Werner was assembling Ford cars in the building next door, one at a time out of wooden boxes. The cars would come in on the back corner of this building, and the horse and buggies would actually turn around right where we're standing now. And as Ford, as everybody knows Ford, he's scrupulous. He didn't care who he hurt, but he blocked off the horse and buggies and pretty much did away with the carriages in Leesville.
And it's amazing that one of the stories you were telling me is that pre-assembly line, the cars were brought here to Leesville and elsewhere around the country in a unique way, and then assembled. Tell us about that.
Well, they came in wooden boxes, and whoever bought the cars would assemble the cars themselves. The crates themselves would have pre-drilled holes for floorboards, floor pans, whatever came in the wooden box was also part of the car.
Right. It reminds me of the stories in World War II when they would assemble the Jeeps after the planes would drop them. You know, it kind of reminds me a little bit of that, you know, where the soldiers would take the crates, open them up, then have put them together.
Right.
Yeah. And so it's sort of the same thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, John, right where we're standing is where horse and buggies were pretty much shooed away and cars would start coming in, right?
Correct.
And like you said, Henry Ford, you know, not with the most scruples. It was about the green, and he was ready for that era to go. Places like the Kane Motor Company that we're standing in now were able to at least thrive until the Great Depression. And you were telling me a story about that.
Well, when the Depression hit, anybody that couldn't pay for their cars, just like today, had to return them. And I don't have the photographs, but I have seen the photographs of around 200 Model A surrounding this building. So at that time, that's when Werner sold out and started a dairy barn about 5 miles down the road.
Not everybody needed the car, but they needed to eat and get their nutrition, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and so pretty neat story about that. And I could just imagine those cars lined around, and people, I guess, could probably get some pretty good repo deals.
Come on down to the lot and ask one of our salesmen on parole to work out some terms for you. That's BR 549.
Tell us the story about how this building was built.
Right around, I guess, 1910, all the iron in this building was casted somewhere around 1870. It was originally parts of the Fullerton sawmill, and when the sawmill closed down, I don't know the whole story about how they got all this metal here from Fullerton, but they disassembled buildings at Fullerton sawmill and then re-erected them at this location. Now, I was told that they bought enough of this to assemble 3 of these buildings throughout the United States, one up in Michigan and one in either Oregon or Washington. And I'm told that the one that's up north is still there, but the one on the East Coast had burnt down in the 60s.
John, this building has a lot of automotive and motorcycle memorabilia. It's sort of like a car collector's dream because there are signs from all kind of different fuel companies, Mobil and Gulf and and all that. But there a couple of stories you were telling me about a particular one. Tell us about that.
The Stuckey Vacuum Products, a Southern Oil Company of New York. And what we call drilling today, when they created that sign, they called it vacuuming products, which they vacuumed them up out of the ground, the old pumps. Stuckey becomes Magnolia, who became Mobil, Exxon, and I guess they control the world now. And it is a tribute to gas and oil.
John, I've told people before that my first car ever was a green Dodge Dart Swinger. And as a kid, I thought it was the geekiest car. I bought it, my dad bought it for me for $500, and I got rid of it, and today I'd do anything to have it. And behind us, we've got a couple of Dodge Darts. We've got this yellow one and blue one. So I think there's a theme going on here. The owner of this particular facility is a Mopar guy, right?
Well, we get these cars super cheap back in the day. I mean, a lot of them were given to us, a couple $100 here. You can't find them like you used to.
Right.
But we're not in Dodge country, so people just didn't fool with them. They bought them, and they broke down, they set them up, and they just forgot them, and we got them for next to nothing. So we just started with Dodge. And, well, the whole thing in the beginning was stick with one, stick with the era, and it started out 65 to 75. Because everything's still relatively the same. A lot of interchangeable parts. And it just grew from there. When we started in this building, it was just an empty, rotten building. It was condemned by the parish, and even the building was inexpensive compared to what it's worth now.
And hidden in some of the dust and the underneath parts and things like that are some hidden gems. And John, I found one that I used to actually drive. There's hidden behind one of these shelves is a Gremlin.
Yes, Gremlin X.
And I had a Gremlin. It was two-tone in color, rust and Bondo.
Oh, it's actually a survivor car. Original paint, original motor. And again, they gave it away.
Statute of limitations is probably up on this, folks, but when I had my Gremlin, I was working 3 jobs. I was 18, 19, I was working 3 jobs, and I went off the road into a cane field, down a ditch, into the cane field, drove through the cane field, got back up on the highway, and the car still ran with cane stalks in front of it. I had to stop on the side of the road to pull them out so my dad wouldn't notice. And if he watches this episode now, he's going to know that I did that. But that doggone Gremlin, man, it went through it. Wide body like that, it ran through the cornfield like it was butter.
I didn't run that one through a cornfield. I wouldn't know.
And we're in the back of this museum/shop with parts after parts after parts and wheels after wheels after wheels. Look at all those engines. Ready to go into another car. Hey, it's Flying Brian's engine shop. Come on by. We got engines. What do you need? What do you need? Come on by. There's an engine there. There's an engine there. There's an engine there. There's an engine there. Oh, my goodness, there's an engine. You need an engine, you come see Flying Brian. Just call me at FB 444. That's FB 444. Can we go up to the front, to the what I would call the showroom, I guess? John, it looks like we're kind of in the soda shop area of Kane Motor Company here, and
Parts counter.
It looks like, I guess looks like redone to be a soda shop, but it was originally the parts counter back in the day.
Correct.
And boy, it looks like somebody did a lot of work into it. It's great. It's seeing great history here of all the signs. Not only got automotive history, but you've got the soda shop kind of theme here. And you were telling me that a lot of the things in here, the gas pumps, the mechanical horse for the kids, a lot of that stuff, along with the building, all in disrepair.
Correct.
And you guys meticulously, I guess
one piece at a time.
One piece at a time to make it look like this. John, is there a favorite piece here, like whether it's a gas pump or a riding toy or anything like that, any other memorabilia that is your favorite in the building? Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, my black 2012 Harley Davidson.
Nice. And that's yours personally?
Yes.
Nice. And how long have you had it?
2012.
2012. So you bought it new.
Right.
Let's let John take a break while we walk around and look at some of the cool cars in the Kane Museum showroom. Sort of randomly picked out a car to let John tell us a story about the process of restoration that they had to do on a lot of these cars, but let's talk about this one specifically.
All right, the 67 RT, we picked up in the Lafayette area, found it sitting in a field since the early 70s. We bought it from its original owner. He bought the car strictly for racing, and 67 RT was advertised as the gentleman's race car. We bought the car with drag slicks and skinny tires on the front, sitting out in the field. It had been wrecked, and whoever put the car back together had no welding abilities, so they pop riveted all the skins, the quarters, the rockers, everything was riveted back on. But the car flexed so much that he just stuck it out in the field and gave up on it. We picked the car up about 11 years ago, and although it looked good, once you start taking paint and filler off of it, you find out what people did, and so we wound up disassembling half of the sheet metal on this car and rebuilding it back to the condition it is today.
So John, on the way to walk in here to get this exclusive look inside the museum here, you were telling me that this area we're looking at now, what I call the showroom, that this front end was a gas station, right, back in the day?
When the building was first put up, yes, in its original design, this was all opened area. The original ceilings are still above this drop ceiling. They didn't remove anything. They put the drop ceiling in the beginning of air conditioning days to cool the building off. The glass, I believe, was put in late 50s, early 60s. But when they initially designed the building, you could pull into this corner, get your car serviced, tires, oil, gas, and somewhere in the future after that, they closed it in to make the showroom bigger. Well, it was a dealership. It ended out as Alfred Motors, I believe.
Alfred Motors? Okay.
And they were the last auto dealership in here. And then the state took it over for the Vernon Council of Aging. The building next door started in this building. And somewhere after that, they moved to the building next door, and this building just sat for years until the current owner purchased it.
You know, John, I'm looking at all the displays here, which would look a lot like a gas station or a dealership from back in the day. And it's amazing to me that, who knows, this might have been, I don't know, going way back, probably 50 cents. But let's say, when my coming up, probably a buck, a couple of bucks. And then now these cans are going for hundreds and thousands with oil collectors.
In some cases, right. And again, price is all determined by the buyer.
Exactly.
And a lot of these still have oil in them. I still use it.
Is that right? Let's see. Yep, they're full. They're full. Now, I wonder, how long does oil last in a can like this? I
don't think it goes bad.
Wow, we'll have to research that. We'll have to Googleize that and see. Something else you were telling me is that if it's sort of subtle, but there's no barcode on it. Everything has a barcode now, but these were sold without the barcode. Manually had to put in how much the price was. And
Barcodes came out in 1974.
Right.
After 74, everything has a barcode on it.
yeah,
So if you find any item in this world or United States that has no barcode, it's pre-1974.
including this great display of Texaco Haviland motor oil. Leesville, Louisiana is very unique in the fact that even though it's a small town here in Louisiana, it has not one but two. In another episode, you'll see some pictures from the Stuckey Automotive Museum. But John, thank you so much for your time on this hot Saturday after Cars and Coffee to talk to us about this the old Kane Motor Company Museum. I really appreciate it.
It's appreciated. Thank you.
I'm going to go ahead and ride off into the sunset now on the horse. How's that sound? Do you have a nickel I can borrow?
Oh, you don't need a nickel.
We're going to mosey on out of here with another edition of Cajun Classic Cars TV.